A disturbing discovery inside of a short-term rental on Madison's west side. Hidden cameras found by a guest. Now police have executed a search warrant as part of their investigation. WMTV's Shayna Najawan joins us live in the studio with how this incident unfolded and what comes next. Shayna.
Tabitha, the search warrant details the moments that led police to a home on Ashworth Drive after a guest renting the property reported something he never expected to find: cameras hidden inside electrical outlets. The home is a multi-level single-family house on a very quiet dead-end street in Madison. And on July 20th, a guest renting the home through Airbnb reported finding a camera hidden inside the outlet of a bathroom. According to the warrant, he later found another one, this time in the outlet of the master bedroom. The guest told police neither he nor his family, including 6 children, had any knowledge of recording devices being in the home. Officers photographed the cameras and confirmed they were wired directly into each outlet, and each with its own memory card attached. I reached out to Airbnb for comment, and they told me that hidden cameras have always been and always will be banned on Airbnb. They added they take allegations of anyone violating this policy, quote, incredibly serious. Live in the studio, Shayna Najawan, WMTV 15 News.
Shayna, thank you. They also suspended the host and listing from their platform, and they are assisting law enforcement in that ongoing investigation. The guests were issued a full refund.